jumping right into her skin prep, I'm just going to take a makeup remover wipe just to cleanse her skin, and then I'm going to moisturize her skin using a cream moisturizer. Immediately after, I'm going to prime her skin using my favorite face primer, and it's by Neutrogena. It really helps control any shine or oily areas. For the most part, my mom usually gets the same look, just something really neutral. And so I asked her what she was wearing, and she told me she was wearing this like super over the top blouse that had like gold and black sparkles on it. So I decided to go with a smoky eye for her look. And for a primer, I'm starting off with a LA Girl concealer for a base, and this is in pure beige, and I'm just blending it out with a super fluffy brush. I want a smoky look, but I'm going to start off with a brown shade from my Morphe palette. And the key to this is just packing on a dark brown color to just bring some smoke and warmth to her crease area. This is definitely not a cut crease, but I just wanted to define her crease area with different browns, and then later on adding a dark color. So you'll get to see how I blend that out. Moving on to her lid, I used a mixture of things. I didn't get a chance to record me using my Stila liquid eyeshadows. I mixed two colors together. I'll leave them down below, as I said before. But on top of those Stila liquid shadows, I just used a Wet n Wild highlighter for her lid to give her a more metallic finish. Moving on to her foundation, I used Fit Me and L'Oreal True Match. As you can see, she's like super high yellow, but she's also pretty warm. So I just picked two shades out of my collection that I thought that would match her and blend out really well. So it was a perfect match for her. And then for her highlight, I also use LA Girl concealer. And this, I believe the shades I used were pure beige and cool tan. I like to let the under eye concealer sit the longest, so I always kind of apply it first before I blend it out, and then I continue with the remaining of her face, the center of her face, down the bridge of her nose, and then her chin. Using a damp beauty blender, I'm just going to blend out the concealer under her eyes, and then the center of her forehead, again back and forth with my foundation brush, just so that it looks seamless. I'm just going to do that all over until everything is blended out. And then just to add some warmth back into her, I'm just going to bronze her up a little bit with a face powder that's about 3 shades darker than her skin tone. And I just went down the bridge of her nose and like her cheekbone areas. To set her face, I'm going to use Aerospun, again with the damp beauty blender. I like to first set the highlight areas, and then I'll go back and eventually use this translucent powder all over her face. But I use a MAC press powder. It's Skin Finish. I'll leave the shade number down in the description bar, but I use a press MAC mineralized skin finish along with this Airspun translucent. Now I'm just going to touch up her eyes and just add a little bit more of that highlighter to the inner tear duct of her eye, just to open her up. I think these lashes were a little bit too heavy for sis, but because it was smoky, I wanted it to be dramatic, so I made her wear these 10-pound lashes. And now I'm just going to smoke out her bottom lash line with the same browns that I used for her crease, and also a little black gel liner. I'm going to use a Wet n Wild brown lip pencil to line her lips, and then just a blending brush to blend it out so that it doesn't look too harsh, like she used to do back in the days. She used to wear like the harsh lip liner, but now she knows to blend it out, girl. And then we're just gonna add a nude gloss when we finish with her hair, and then just finishing touches like finishing spray and more mascara. This is pretty much it. Her face is pretty much done. If you like to see how we did her hair, be sure to stay tuned.